Please like and subscribe to channel if you enjoyed the video. Family is breaking. Life is falling apart. August 16th, I go to hiking for a week with 6 of my veteran friends we served in Army together. When I return on August 22, I sensed something was off between my wife and daughter 23. 23 is a computer programmer and lives separate in the city while we live in the outskirts of another city. She comes to visit us on weekends. While my other daughter, 17, is working as a part teacher at her grandmother's, my wife's mom, town which is around 7 kilometers from here. So my wife gets the day to herself. 23 asked to take me out for a coffee and catch up where she decided to nuke me that my wife is cheating. She literally caught her mom making out at a car right in front of our house. She saw it from a distance. I didn't believe her and straight away told her she was lying. That's when she told me she didn't believe either and logged into her mom's social accounts, more like broke into, and showed me the text strings. It had been going on for a long time. It wasn't a one-time thing. They were collage crushes. It was going on at a straight point for 9 years while I was in the military, and he came over whenever I was outside either for military or for work purpose. What was more disgusting is she gave a spare key to him without asking me. Yes, you read that right. There were all sorts of things that consists of a man's nightmare. Nudes, they both confessing how much they love each other, badmouthing me, role plays, and she even confessed she'd let him do things she refused to me. On my part, I'm hardly a saint by any stretch of the imagination. I was a complete disaster. Post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, and anger management issues were diagnosed in me, but I was able to deal with them via therapy and exercise and am now in a better position than I was before. I never verbally abused her or raised my hand in anger, but it was she who used to verbally attack me in front of our girls, which was a terrible example for our daughters. When I saw this, I was really taken aback. My whole body became chilly and numb. Whatever emotions I had vanished as quickly as if I had just recently been born. I couldn't think of anything to say. When my daughter and I spoke, she broke down and told me that I was the finest father she could have asked for. She said she loved me and that if I were to divorce, she would be by my side. She was cheated on herself a few years ago in her first relationship, and since then she hasn't believed in love, and now another vehicle has slammed her in the face. Even after this, I'm proud of her because she remained strong and maintained her calm. She acknowledged that her mother had cheated on her, which was a significant issue. Although she didn't urge me not to divorce, she said that if I did, she would back me in my decision. I inquired as to the identity of the gentleman. This individual is shown to be a mechanic who also smuggles products and narcotics from the black market. He was sentenced to prison twice for terms of 2 and 4 years, respectively. I'd always been definite and forthright in my life, but I was befuddled at the time. I was at a loss for what to do. I inquired with my daughter. She advised me to take some time and consult with a therapist before deciding whether or not to divorce her. Then face both her and her AP, affair partner, I believe this is the official term, together, to bring matters to a close and make things straight. When I returned home, I had absolutely no feelings. The sight of my wife made me feel sick to my stomach. There is no love or hatred. It seemed as if she was a completely different person from the one I was familiar with. After 2 weeks have passed, I informed my buddies that they had heard a number of tales of military personnel committing suicide after discovering that their girlfriend has been cheating on them the whole time. They also recommended that I undergo a paternity test, just in case I wasn't the father. I had no idea how frequent adultery was in the military until recently. As previously said, I completed a paternity test, and the results F***ing ruined my life. My daughter is 23 years old, but 17 is not. I was completely devastated as a result of this and ended up locking myself in a friend's home. I didn't eat anything and I didn't sleep. I wasn't in my right mind. That's when I began drinking on a regular basis. Going out was something I did on a regular basis, and my wife never questioned it. This continued on for a few days. It was on the 3rd of October that I met up with several friends, one of whom was a police officer, and told them that I wanted to speak with AP and get the complete story before making a final choice. They offered to accompany me, but I decided to do it alone. I acquired his phone number from the garage and tracked him down in a pub, which happened to be run by the younger brother of a veteran friend of mine. I approached AP and inquired as to whether or not he recognized me. There was nothing I could do for that man, who was gaunt and looked like he hadn't eaten properly in months. He looked me directly in the eyes and informed me he was there with 3 of his friends, that I was the guy whose wife loves him, more than me, and there wasn't anything I could do. Folks, I did my best to maintain my composure. I really believed it. This really struck a chord with me. Nonetheless, I informed him that I wanted to speak with him about some matters. It all started when he started making disparaging statements about my wife, and it escalated to verbal abuse when I lost my cool. He threatened me with a pistol. Because I had been in the military, I was familiar with how to disarm him. I hurled him across the bar with all of my might. My friends were also there, and I didn't realize they had followed me here. One of them was a police officer. One was the brother of the bar's owner. One was my best friend, who was not a veteran. And the other was another veteran friend. They tried to defuse the situation by pulling me away from AP. I messed up with AP. He was finally taken to the hospital as a result of his condition. Because I was a former military member, no charges were filed against me. What occurred was observed by a lieutenant in the police department, as well as by the whole bar and CCTV. He came to the conclusion that I acted in self-defense and he would handle the situation. My wife found out about this 2 days later, and she had an absolute meltdown. In front of our girls, who had come to spend the weekend with us, he called me horrible names and threatened me with violence. She informed me that I had ruined her life and that I should have been in the hospital in his place instead of her. She came to me right away and said she wanted a divorce. I'm not sure what it was, but something had altered inside me. I wasn't enraged with her, nor was I in love with her. Rather, I felt repulsed or despised by her. She seemed to be a completely different person. Despite the fact that my girls supported me, she also mistreated them. I kept my mouth shut the whole time they were arguing. I've seen guys die, I've seen horrific things that I wouldn't want on my worst enemy, but to have your own family disintegrate in front of your eyes is one of the most cruel things I've ever experienced. I informed my wife that she needed to leave my home immediately since it was going to be a disaster. She finally decides to go. Her mother contacted me and attempted to place all of the blame on me. I explained why I had done what I had done and emailed her a photo of the paternity test results. That had an impact on her, and she expressed regret. My kid and I were both subjected to a significant amount of pressure. 17 is still unaware of this, although 23 is aware of it. I informed her that I would not be treating her any differently since she is my daughter regardless of her age. My girls are wonderful. On the 19th of October, she appeared with divorce papers in hand. We have decided to separate. Right now, I'm attempting to get full custody. Criminal charges against AP have been filed for smuggling and possession of an unlicensed firearm. I'm not going to lie, I have my moments. I'm at a loss for words when it comes to expressing myself. It's as though I'm completely deaf. Literally. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the story, please like and subscribe to the channel.